Hello my friends, the Compass Star Kayak is almost finished. I'm going through the final coats of the varnish, spar varnish that's going on it. And now I'm thinking about how to carry it on my roof rack. So I just measured the distance between the bars and the roof rack, and it's 52 inches. And from the center of the kayak, that would be roughly 26 inches, so right here. So this is the center of the roof rack, and it'll be both sides. So what I'm going to do from this point is get the angle of the deck right there, and I'm going to make a roof rack carriage. And this will be the angle at which the carriage will be made. Here I'm using a board that's 1.25 inches thick by 4 inches wide, and I'm going to cut a trough that will straddle the crossbar on the roof rack. So I have my saw blade set at a 45-degree angle. It's 5/8 inch deep, and I'm coming in 1 inch from the outside edge of the board, and I'll make a cut from both sides that way. Next, I made a series of passes to take the center out. Then I'll clean it up with my chisel. Here the trough has been chiseled out, and this is going to go on the cross rails on the roof rack. Here I'm using a block as a stop, and I'm setting the saw to 8 inches. I'll move the stop up here and lock this in. And the reason I'm doing this is the only safe way to use a fence with the miter gauge. So when the piece of wood is cut, it's not touching the fence, and that keeps it from twisting and kicking back. So you start the cut with it touching here, and then you feed it in. Okay, I need 4 of these blocks. These wedges that were removed, I'm saving these. The grain is running in this direction, and what these will be great for is securing hammer and axe heads onto their handles. Grain is running the right direction. This is birch, nice smooth grain, closed pore, perfect for hammers and axes. Stop is set again at 8 inches. These are going to be the wings. I'm going to use this U-bolt to go through here and hold this down onto the roof rack. And what I want to do is countersink this top part right in this area. So I threw together a quick jig. This will go on here. I have a stop here, so it'll locate it close to the center. Slot for the rotor will ride in here, and I just need to measure this. I'm using a over-rounded bit. After everything's glued up, bolts are epoxied in. The entire surface is coated with epoxy and glass, and the bottom was coated. You can see how much is built up here. There's about 5 layers right on the end. And then the last thing I did was I coated the front. Now I need to trim it off. All the edges will be sanded off, sanded around. Okay, these need to be opened up. The top only has a single layer of glass. You can see how easy this cuts. Ready for sanding. The roof racks for the kayak are going to be held on the crossbar with these nylon insert lock nuts. That way they won't vibrate loose. They will hold them real secure. Okay, and here is the racks with the kayak on the roof. Here's the racks, and you see the straps. I went around the kayak a couple times. I think that will be a secure way to hold it on there. And we'll give it a test. We don't need to have a $10,000 kayak coming off the roof of the car in a heavy wind. And in addition to this, from the front, I will bring that down to the push bar when it's mounted on the car. It could go to the tow hooks also. And I'll do the same with the back. When the kayak is in tow or being traveled, it will need to have a sleeve to cover the kayak to protect it from the weather, from the sun. Or if it's a short haul, it'll need to have a cover over the cockpit so that it doesn't collect water. Well, looks like I'm ready to travel. Thanks for watching, my friends. Bye-bye.